My name is Antonio Mckee, and my MMA record is 25-3. Grew up in Long Beach and Nashville, Tennessee, and Dayton, Ohio, and Atlanta. In high school, I was a troubled youth, at risk, running the streets, doing crazy stuff. I learned how to fight starting out as a hobby, working for the boys in the neighborhood, collecting money for debts. And then I found wrestling, which was to be extremely entertaining for me. I got a lot of aggression out in that sport, so I stuck with wrestling and eventually took that to the level of a 3-time state champion in the state of California, the only wrestler in the history to go undefeated 3 years in a row, let alone give up one takedown in a season. My first experience in MMA, I was watching TV, and I saw this Ultimate Fighting stuff on TV. I thought it was really entertaining to watch. And then the old chip on the shoulder, my ego kicked in, and I was like, well, I think I can do that. A couple of Gracie guys came by one day, and I saw the little jiu-jitsu stickers, and I owned at that time some retail stores, communication satellite companies. And so we moved all the furniture back, and we started rolling around a little bit, and I was just dominating with my wrestling and takedowns. And then they wanted to start on the knees, and the next thing you know, I was in a little trouble with these triangles and arm bars, but I was picking them up, slamming them all over the place. I did really well from what they thought, but to me, I didn't think I did so well because I was getting tired. I was fighting different moves. I didn't understand, it's just a different technique. So I went home and I thought about it, and then I said, you know what, I think I want to go back because I didn't like being dominated like that. So I went back and I did a little better this time. He didn't submit me 20 times, he only submitted me 15. But nevertheless, I was the best at what I did in wrestling, so I couldn't really understand how a guy, even if, being 60, 70 pounds heavier than me, could make me tap out like that. So I took it personal and asked him, could I come down and train? And we exchanged my technique in wrestling for his jiu-jitsu sparring. And he says, hey, there's a fight coming up. You want to go? I was like, where is it? It was out in Hemet, King of the Cage. I was like, yeah, I'll go. And I went. The fight lasted probably maybe 3 minutes. I just went out there and went just balls to the walls, just bang, 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 bang. And I got my first victory. What makes me different is I go down to Long Beach Polytechnic High School, and I'm the wrestling coach over at Poly. And then on the weekends, I go into the low-income areas, and I introduce myself and tell the people, look, this is where I'm from, and I'm here, and I'm just basically here to kind of just help out a little bit, take some of the proceeds and some of the earnings and monies that I've made to my nonprofit called Fight for Kids. And without disrespecting the parents, of course, I'll ask them, can I come in and just kind of look at your place and talk to you a little bit. And at the end of all this, I'd like to go to the grocery store, and I've chose this household, this family. I'm going to fill your refrigerator up with groceries if you don't have a problem with that. But that's what I do, I try to get other fighters involved. I've had Rampage come out and talk to some of the kids and, just give them some insight on doing good, staying in school. But like I say, when people look at me, they look at what they see on YouTube, but they don't look and see what changes that I've made in the ghetto, in the hood, Watts, Compton. I was given an award for the city of Compton. I was given an award in the city of Long Beach. The mayors have presented me with certificates. So when people talk, it's just the mouth. But when you look at the actions, the things that I do, there's not too many people that'll go where I go just to help, just to give back. So that's where I'm from, so that's what I do. That's what I enjoy doing, and that's going to be my retirement. When I'm done fighting, I just want to mentor at you kids. A lot of videos and the stuff that you see online, that's a character, okay? And I explain to people all the time, like when my kids watch that stuff, they go, Daddy, you said the N-word, or Daddy, you said a cuss word. And I have to explain to my kids that my job is to entertain. Now, if this sport was developed or it was bigger, maybe I wouldn't have had to take the road that I took to get where I'm at today. But I guarantee you, now that you see me in the UFC, you'll see totally a different guy, a professional. But I did what I had to do to get there. I raised up enough heat and enough noise. A lot of people didn't like my style, but my style was a winning style. And now that I'm in the UFC, that's the frontier of MMA, and As far as money, I mean, who's gonna pay like the UFC is capable of paying? They just want you to do your job and let's put on a good show. But at least now I'm covered as far as medical. I'm covered as far as my purse. I know I'm not gonna get checks bounced. So it's a lot easier for me now to go out here and put on a show, a clean show, because I'm already in there now. So I hope I don't disappoint a lot of the fans that were looking for this bad black guy to come in and talk cocky and crazy. I'm still going to be entertaining. I'm just going to do it with a little bit more courtesy. So I believe that God gave me the gift and the blessing to be able to do this. And now I believe being in the UFC at my age, I'm more mature, more responsible. I had to do things the long, hard way. But at the end of the day, Tony Mckee's going to get the job done, whether you like it or not.